Okay, so we're going to do a quick Pilates mat class today. Let's call this the happy hour class. It's something you can do in place of happy hour or something you can do right before happy hour just to feel like you've moved your body after the end of a long day. So what we're going to do is we're going to start standing. I'm going to stand towards the end of my mat, and I'll kind of move my body around a little bit so you can see different angles in case it's a little confusing to see it parallel. And so looking down at your feet, bring them about hip bone distance apart, so not very far apart, arms by your side. And we're going to start just by reaching those arms up overhead and let them come down by your side a few times. So you can move that with breath a little bit. Just inhale, lift, reach, exhale, relax the arms down. One more time like that, big lift, inhaling and exhaling, just to kind of move. And we're going to do some little squats, or if you're familiar with yoga, it's going to feel similar to a chair pose. So keeping those feet flat on the ground, start to bend your knees and send your hips back like you're sitting into a chair, and then stand up nice and tall. We're going to do that again. Inhale, thinking about those knees just tracking straight ahead. This is a really efficient move to just start to wake up the whole body, starting with the legs, but those arms reaching up in front of you. Help wake up the shoulders and back a little bit as well. Exhale. Let's do 4 more. Inhale. And go as far back as you can, keeping those heels down, knees tracking forward, so you can get a little stretch in the back of the lower leg. We'll do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. And last one, just like that. Inhale and exhale. Now, from here, I want you to think about, I'll start with my right leg. You're just going to lift your right leg up from the front of the hip and lower it down. And do that again. It's going to require just a little bit of balance. And down and lift. Try to keep shoulders stacked over ribs, over hips. Hands can be by your side or on your hips, whatever feels good for you. We're going to do 4 more. And down. And 3. Breathing 2. And 1. Rest that right leg down, switching to the left leg, lifting from the front of the hip and down. Again, requires a little bit of balance. We're waking up that low core and those hip flexors, which are usually both tight and weak for most people. So just kind of warming everything up, connecting with that low core, trying not to change the spinal alignment too much. We're going to do 3 more, lifting up and down and 2 and 1. And then from here, both feet come to the ground. Reach your arms up. And then let's just take a stretch over to one side. So I'm doing a pure side bend here. Over to one side, back to center standing tall, over to the other side, and back. One more time, each direction. Inhale, exhale. Then once you bring yourself back to center this next time, relax the arms down. Now take your left foot and have a big step forward for me, and then come onto the toes of that right foot. So what we're going to do here is just think of a hinge at our hips, keeping our back flat. The range of motion is entirely up to you, but I'm going to hinge and I'm going to lift that back leg and then slowly unhinge and tap the foot down. If you need to rest for a moment to regain your balance, that's fine. If you're on a squishy mat like I am, you may want to just come to a flatter surface if you can, if the balance is tricky. And again, really trying to keep that back from flexing too much. It'll flex naturally, but we're trying not to round anymore through that spine, keeping a flat back. Now slide that right leg underneath you. Bring your left leg behind you. Start on the toes there. Find your balance. And again, we're thinking of that hinge, but bring that back leg up as you hinge forward and bring that leg back down. And 3 more. Take your time with it. Your range of motion is going to be potentially a little different from side to side. For me, I'm going to do 1 more. My balance is pretty terrible on this side. Thinking, talking, and a squishy mat makes it pretty hard. Good. Now from here, I'm going to step my feet back to the end of the mat, feet back underneath those hips, knees bent. So now I'm going to take a flat back hinge forward as much as I can without rounding my spine. Your knees bending a little bit, if the back of your hips are tight, is going to help with this. And then I'm just going to unhinge and stand up. All right. One more time like that. That hinge forward, trying to sort of point your tailbone to the back side of the room there, and then lift right back up. Now I'm going to hinge forward, pause, relax my arms, and let my spine round a little bit. And again, knees bent might help you relax your back a little. On your next breath, just stack your spine up one bone at a time. We're going to do that one more time. Hinge with a flat back, knees as bent as you need. Round forward like you're trying to reach those fingertips towards the mat. Relax through the head, and then stack your spine up one bone at a time. We're going to reach the arms towards the ceiling. Do one more stretch from side to side. Back through center, over to the other side, and back through center. Now what we're going to do is nod the chin and slowly round our spine all the way down. And then bring your hands towards the mat and just begin to walk it out and find hands and knees. Once you're in hands and knees, we're going to shift back into a child's pose or rest position, really reaching long, fingertips long, hips back. And then we're going to find a all fours position, knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Let's start here by rounding the spine. Think about pushing with the arms and just find as much of a cat shape as you can, relaxing the head and the neck. And then lift the heart, lift the gaze, lift the chest. Let that back sway so you're in your cow pose, but stay strong pushing through those arms. One more time like that, rounding into that cat stretch. And inhale to lift, extend the spine, lift the heart, lift the throat, lift the gaze into that cow. Now from here, we're going to find a flat back. We're going to bring our right leg behind us and our left arm in front of us. Find a balance on the opposite limbs that are supporting you and stay active through the arm, the right shoulder, the left leg, the left hip, and the core, super engaged. We're going to inhale, reach the arm and leg up. Exhale, lower down. 3 more like that. Lifting up and down. Stay strong. Stay strong. Don't collapse. Even though we're not doing much or many reps here, this will start warming you up. You're going to hold this last one at the top. Hold and breathe. And don't collapse. Keep pushing into the ground, staying lifted, breathing here. Inhale, exhale. Lower the hand. Lower the knee. Slide that left leg behind you, the right arm in front of you. Stay strong through those support limbs. Really keep your chest and shoulders, your back, your core engaged. We're going to lift up and down. Don't have to overthink it too much. Just don't collapse. And again, lifting up and down. And on this last one, we're going to lift and hold. So you're going to hold, and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Breathing here, staying strong, fighting not to collapse to that left side. Bring the hand down, bring the knee down, stretch back into a rest position here. Now we're going to go ahead and swing those legs in front of us. And I want you to bend your knees, come towards the end of your mat now, so you have plenty of space. Slide those heels in pretty close to you, and then just slowly start to roll all the way down until you're laying on your back, knees bent, feet flat, arms by your side, palms pressing in. And now from here, we're going to just slowly start to lift up into a bridge. So you're going to peel your spine off the mat, one bone at a time. Once you get to the top, take a little pause. And then on your next exhale, slowly lower down, one bone at a time. And we're going to repeat that, curling up, lifting into that bridge, pausing at the top, slowly lower down. Beautiful job. Let's go ahead and do that. A few more times. At the top of that bridge, try to really feel like you're pressing those hips open, finding space here, keeping your core engaged, and then slowly articulating all the way down. We're going to do that one more time. And this one, we're going to hold at the top. So at the top of that bridge, stay lifted. Keep pushing into the feet. Keep pressing into the arms. This one is a tiny movement. Think of your right hip. You're going to drop your right hip down 1 inch and up. Right side again. Drop it down 1 inch and up. Do that again. Everything else stays the same. You should hardly be able to notice a movement. And again, 2 more like so. Tiny drop and lift. Tiny drop. Now we're going to find our height. If we've lost any height in the bridge, regain it. You're breathing, right? So left hip down 1 inch and up, lowering down 1 inch and up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then you're going to slowly roll all the way down. Once you get to the bottom of that bridge, interlace your hands, bring them behind your head. We're going to do our chest lift. So elbows should be visible in your side vision here. Inhaling to prepare. On your next exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders up. You're just going to look towards those knees. Take a little pause. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. So these next 3 we're doing slowly with the 2 breath pattern. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift. Inhale at the top. Exhale to lower down with control. 2 more. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift. Inhale at the top. Exhale to lower down. 1 more like that. So you're going to curl up on that exhale. Inhale at the top. Exhale to lower all the way down. Now from here, you're going to lift and hold. So on your next exhale, stay lifted in that chest lift. Take a breath in. I'm going to take one arm, reach across, and tap the opposite knee through that exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Reach the opposite direction. Come back to center, pause, and then lower all the way down with control. And again, curling up through the exhale, pausing at the top, inhale. We've got another reach across each direction. Exhale, reach, eyes towards knees. Exhale, reach, inhale, center, hold. Exhale, lower down. Now from here, those hands are going to come on the belly. Think of this as your powerhouse. And then move your hands to low core. Think about this as even more important as up here, right? Low core strong. Now we're going to lift both legs into a bent position, often called tabletop in Pilates. And we're going to think about, as much as possible, shoulders and ribs and hips unaffected by these movements. We're going to slowly take the shape of the right leg. Down on the inhale, up on the exhale. Notice how slow the up was, right? Down on the inhale. The temptation is to lift the leg like so, but I would argue that that isn't as beneficial as going slow and controlled with this particular movement, because we're just trying to feel stabilizers and we're trying to feel that we can hold tension in this part of our core. And then even more significantly, I'm focusing a lot, and I hope you can too, on sending breath to this area. So you can feel that low core engaged in the breath process. Let's do that one more time from side to side. Inhaling to lower. The whole shape of the leg lowers and lifts. So it's a movement at the hip, not the knee. And then one more time with that left leg. Now from here, hug your knees into your chest if you need a break. Otherwise, bring your legs together and interlace your hands back behind your head. We're going to go back into our chest lift. This time, 1 breath. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. 2 more. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. 1 more. Now, once you lower down, hug your right knee in, reach your left leg long. Let that left leg relax. Really pull that right knee in And then slowly switch. Left knee in, right leg down, right leg relaxes. Nice squeeze here. From here, bend both knees, bring your feet on the ground, and then walk your legs together. Arms open out to the side, either a T position if you have the space, or just palms open by the sides of the mat. Think about your head, neck, and shoulders staying right where they are, looking towards the ceiling. Let your knees go over to the right along with those hips, and the waist starts to twist. And then on your next exhale, think of your waist pulling the weight of your legs back to center. And we'll do that to the left. Head, neck, and shoulders and arms stay still. Twisting the knees and hips over to the left. Waist starts to twist. Exhale, center. Use the core. Now from here, that's always available for you if you need to bring your feet down. Perhaps it's been a long day. But we're going to hold those legs in tabletop and do the same move, our spine twist. So we're going to twist over to the right. Head, neck, shoulders, arms stay still. Should be trickier than you might think. Exhale, use your spinal muscles, your core muscles, those side body rotating muscles to bring you back to center. And we're going to go from side to side now. Exhaling through center. If you're not moving your arms and shoulders much at all, it's going to limit your range of motion. But that's great because it's probably going to prevent you from getting too much into arching your back. And that way you can really keep the core connected throughout the movement, and especially as you come back to center. 2 more sets. Inhale over. Now, a perfect tabletop, those knees are going to be right over the hips, the lower legs parallel to the ground. I'm not so worried about a perfect tabletop. However, if this feels like a lot of load for your back, you can always do what we call a nice lazy tabletop. It's perfectly acceptable when you're starting out. We'll do 1 more each direction, or forever. I actually don't care. But it really does take a little bit of that stress off the lower back and off the front of the hips. Last twist over to that left side. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and just hug the right knee in, reach that left leg long again. Let it go here. Go ahead and bend your left knee and reach your right leg up to the ceiling. Your arms can come back by your side, or they can stay open out to the side of the body. Lower that leg down. Flex through the heel, lift it straight up towards the ceiling. As you do this, really try to keep your left side engaged and really try to keep your tailbone down. For most of us mortals, right? As you lift that leg up and you're trying to straighten it, you're going to feel a stretch in the back of that leg and hip. We're going to do 1 more like that. So you're going to hold it here. Open that leg a little bit to the side, to the right side, and bring it back. Try to do so without your left side moving. Tricky, tricky. Open and close. We're going to do 2 more like that. Open and close. And 1 more. Open and close. Now we're going to take that leg, lower down, circle it out, and bring it around. Watch out if you don't have much space. So I'm going to make my circles a little smaller. Good. 2 more. Use your left side to stabilize. Don't lose it there. 1 more. Reverse for 4. Open at the top, circle down, up through center. And 3. Beautiful. 2 more. And 1. Then you're going to hold it here. Bend that knee, ankle over that bent left knee. And then if you'd like to, hug your left thigh bone in towards you, keeping both knees bent. We're going to do that figure 4 stretch on our backs. You're pulling that left thigh towards you as you're pressing that right knee away from you, doing your best to not lift your booty too much off the mat. You'll get the most of that stretch there. Then we're going to go ahead and uncross those legs, reach that right leg long, hug that left knee in towards you. Little stretch here. You're going to bend your right knee, put your right foot flat, straighten that leg, or straighten it as best as you can towards the ceiling. It's okay if it's a little bent. Don't lift your bum if possible. And we're going to lower that leg down, flex through the heel. Use that right side now to stabilize. Really keep that right side active and lift. And again, if you're not lifting your butt as that leg comes up to the ceiling, you're going to feel a nice energy line, a lot of stretch at the back of the leg. Holding it here. Open that leg out to the left. Bring it back. Use your right side to stabilize. Open it out. Bring it back. And again, 2 more. Trying not to lift that right side. Now from here, we're going to take that left leg down, circle it out and around, You have to really kind of rein in that range of motion, or else that right side's going to go along for the ride. Let's try to feel anchored there. And just breathe. Inhale, exhale. Now we're going to pause and reverse, opening out, down, up, through center. And 3 more. Slow, controlled, and focused movements. 2 more. And last one. Then you're going to hold that leg up, cross that ankle over that right knee. And then if you'd like, you can hug that right knee in. Supported figure 4 stretch. We're pulling that right thigh bone in as that left knee tries to push away. Doing our best to keep that tailbone anchored down. Breathing here. Inhale, exhale. Giving that left hip a little space and those external rotators there. Beautiful. And then we're going to lower those feet back down to the mat. And then from here, let's take a little bit of a turn onto your side so you can face me and find a fetal position. If you're at home and you have a pillow you could put under your head and that's more comfortable, please do so. We're just going to do a little open book here. So I'm going to think about my hips and knees staying still. And then I'm going to open that top arm, try to let my head go along for the ride, and take a little twist here. Now, I'll be honest, I am feeling really tight in the middle of my back in this twist, so it's probably going to loosen up. I'm going to do that a few more times. I'm going to go open, breathing through it, just not forcing it, but kind of let gravity do a lot of that twist for me, and we'll do 2 more. And 1 more, just like that. Perfect. So now from here, let's go ahead and turn onto our belly. And we're about to do the same thing on the other side. But first, we're just going to bring our forearms and our palms down here, elbows down here. Rest the forehead on the mat for a moment. Relax the lower body. Now, I want you to imagine your head is like a helium balloon. You're just going to let that head start to float up. Press into the palms and the forearms, and just start to let the weight of the head pull you up into a little back extension. It's like you want to go farther, but you stop yourself, not using the arms as much as you could, and lower back down. Do that 1 more time. The head will start to float on its own. And we think of articulating that spine up into that little bit of extension. And then lower all the way down. Now we're going to do our open books on the other side. So just turn to the other direction, knees bent. You're going to think about that top arm opening and letting the weight of that arm pull you into a little twist. And you may feel limitation in the chest and shoulders here. It just depends on how tight you are. So just take it as slow as you need to and breathe through it. We're going to go ahead and do that 2 more times. And 1 more time. And then once you come back to center here, you're going to, or back to where you were rather, you're going to turn onto your belly again. And once you're on your belly, it's nothing more graceful than flopping around on the mat on your belly, isn't it? All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring our arms out to the sides of the mat, like in a goalpost position, and separate the legs a little bit. Relax the forehead down on the mat. If you still have that pillow, you can relax your head on a pillow. We're going to start by reaching the right arm and the left leg up to a hover. You're lifting from the right shoulder and the back of the left hip and down. Now we're going to switch sides. Left arm, right leg. Same thing. 1 on each side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now everything's the same. The next time you reach the right arm, left leg, lift the head and the neck and that upper back and lower down. Switching sides. Lifting up into that extension and lower down. 1 more time each direction, each side. Now from here, we're going to hover both arms, hover both legs. Think of the back lifting, This is as close as I'll ever get to skydiving. And lower down. And again. Let's do that 2 more times. One more time. Now from here, bring your hands towards your the outside of your chest or armpits. Press yourself up. Find a child's pose for a moment. I'm going to open up those knees so I have a little extra space as I bring my tailbone back towards my heels. Big reach, big stretch here. And then find your way onto hands and knees. Once you're on hands and knees, again, we're going to go into that cat stretch. You're going to round through the spine, push through the arms, tuck your tail under, engage those abdominals, relax the head and neck. Slowly lift your heart and gaze, extend your spine, look up and forward for cow. One more time, round. Extend. And then from here, let's curl our toes under. Shift your weight back onto your toes. Find a little crouch position here. And do your best to just let gravity stretch out those lower legs and heels. And breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. And then start to slowly find those heels to the ground and find a forward fold. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders. It might be really good to just keep those knees soft as well. Slowly stack your spine up, one bone at a time. The very last thing to lift should be that head. And then we're going to take those arms and reach them up to the ceiling. Take a stretch over to one side of your mat, back to center, over to the other side, back to center, and relax your arms down. Good job. So that was my little happy hour class. And whatever you do with the rest of your happy hour is up to you. But hopefully that was a little bit of Pilates and movement to throw into the end of the day. Good job. I'll see you guys next time.